and you never put. God, it's just me and you. You are all I care about.
Hey y'all, if you are new to my channel, my name is Dasiah. But if you are not, welcome back. Let's get into it. Y'all know the little trendy hairstyle that's been on the socials. So you know me, I just want to try it. I ain't never did this style on no client, no nothing. First time doing it on myself, and I think I did pretty good. So let's tune in. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Anything, however you may feel, let your girl know. Now let's get into it. I don't really do story times often, but I felt led to do so. So what I'm going to be talking about is just my journey with Christ since my breakup and just, life after it and things that I've learned and how and when I walk in the flesh and when I walk in the spirit. So to give a little backstory, me and my ex, we had split back in August. So I think we're going up on like 9 or 10 months since then. And I felt like God was just taking me through this wilderness season. And it was just so hard for me the first 3 months, just holding on to the betrayal, holding on to the hurt, holding on to what I did, what he did. It was just a whole lot that I was just holding on to. And the devil wasn't allowing me to not let go of it. And it just kept me bound. But I finally, after 3 months of just going through what I went through, just constantly spiraling, emotionally, mentally. So I finally, said I had enough and, it's time to take my life back. And, during this whole time, I'm still seeking God. And, the main thing that I take from it during that time was, even though, I felt like it was hell on high water, the main thing that I held on to was hope. God was that hope that I had that kept me going, even though each day was just so hard, but I made it through. So to just talk about where I'm at, in 2024. So, being in isolation, God separating you and just allowing you to be with him and just be with him. And so I had got to the point of I was so okay with where I was at, not really talking to anybody, not really posting on social media, really just being MIA, not really knowing what's going on, not being in the mix at all. And so, I was okay with it, for the first time in my life, because I look back, this is the first time that I can say, not talking to anybody, not even having a conversation, for the first time in my life, because, old me, always had somebody to talk to. Somebody was always on my phone, always talking to somebody, but just I was okay with where I was at, in my alone time, just, with me and God. So, fast forwarding to January. So a whole lot, just I finally deciding to allow God to have his way with me, but yet and still, I'm still learning, still to this day. We in May now, but still to this day, getting my hand out of the mix and actually giving it to God how I said that I would give it to him. So throughout this whole process, I was okay, We're not talking to anybody, just in my own little world. Yes, do I want love? I love love. I'm a lover girl. I'm a certified lover girl. So of course, but it's just I was content with, love was gonna happen. It was gonna happen on its own time, and I'm not going to continue to try to force something, because that's what I've always done. I've done life my way. And, God gives us free will to do that. And it's like he's so patient with us when it comes to finally saying, okay, I've tried it my way. Now I'm going to do it your way. So I would say it was around March. So I kind of went on a date. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to, but because I was still questioning. I was like, God, did you send him? Because I'm cool. I'm content. I ain't really, messed up about it. So, but I went out on a date, and me personally, I feel as if since I was so content with, not really being or talking to anybody, but I feel as if, you can only heal so much in a way by yourself, because you have to continue to learn lessons. God knew I still needed to learn certain things. He knew that I still had some things that I have yet to learn. So I felt like going out with that guy was just basically getting my foot in the door, because I said, I was content. So that was just me putting myself back out there, not saying that's what I wanted to do, but, just allowing it to happen. Okay, fast forward, that was at the beginning of March. Okay, so we're at the ending of March now. So I go on a fishing date, This is a different guy. But the whole thing was maintaining a friendship, because we living in a generation where I want to know what you got going on. I don't even want to get to know you, and you wonder why things don't work out, because we don't get to know people. We just rush. And so throughout that process, I was trying to figure out, why this one guy was sent here. I was like, Lord, still consulting him through everything, the whole process, each person, because it's just I don't want it. Because, what I'm basically what lesson have I not learned yet? Why did you send this person? Whether it was, not saying they was actually my person, because at a period of time, of course, I would think that, be delusional sometimes, but also at the same time being mindful, because, I've learned so much throughout this whole process. So it's just that person was sent to allow me to see what a form of manipulation looked like, because I wasn't able to identify it before, but because the day it happened, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew that I felt some type of way. And it's one thing about it that I knew that I wasn't going to do was just sit there and deal with it. I spoke up about it. I let it be known that, okay, I felt this way, about this or whatever. And, instead of just being quiet. And so, because the whole point was, basically your words matching your actions. And his words did not match his actions. So, okay, he spent the block again. And I'm just trying to figure out, why now? So it's just I was more mindful also, because it's I knew what you did this first time, and you're not going to allow it happen again. And true, it didn't last that long anyway. So fast forwarding to where we are now. Not saying that, I'm talking to somebody or anything like that, but the whole point, regardless, whatever man come into my life, I try my best to look at them as a brother in Christ, regardless, whether they was here to teach me a lesson or I'm supposed to, help them with something, whatever the case may be. I know that I want a friendship to be established, because it's being for Christ, I do things differently now. I live a different way. I don't do and move the same way that I used to before, because, that was the way of the world. I'm doing it the way of the word now. So it's just just being more mindful, having that I guess that sound judgment, in certain things. So it's just so crazy. Like, I continue to learn, but it's like I'm content with where I'm at. I'm content with it just being me and God. But the main thing throughout this whole process was, because what I did when I was in my relationship was, when I got into my relationship, it's like I lost it. I lost myself. Like, my world stopped. And I just didn't continue to do for me. But the main thing that I want whenever a new relationship does come is to know that, okay, whether they come into my life or not, if they, they stay or if they leave, my world does not stop. My world keeps going. My relationship with God, it keeps going, because that's one thing. I'm not going to forget about him, because that's one thing we tend to do. I know for me sometimes, but I don't do it like that. But when we get something that we prayed for, we tend to forget the person that gave it to us once we get what it is that we prayed for. And I just can't see that happening. But the main thing is learning that keeping God in the center of everything. And it's just, whether they come and stay or whether they leave, my life is still going to continue. It's going to continue to evolve. It's going to continue to revolve around God. That's the main important thing. And it's just, I've learned, so much from the experiences, and just, because, like, I got distracted. I can definitely say that I got distracted. But it's just like, all things happen for a reason. He said, all things work for my good and bad. And, it's just like, I kept lying to myself, or wanting to, my flesh wanted to talk to these people, but deep down inside, like, parts of me, like, I gotta have a conversation. Like, I was so content with where I was at, but, like, Lord, why did you bring these people into my life? Like, but it's just like, I have to understand, even when I get into a relationship, I know that God is still going to be there. I know that God is going to be an important part of the relationship, because without him, I am nothing. So it's just like keeping him in the center throughout the whole journey. But that's just a few things that I've learned so far, like with where I'm at, being single, being celibate, saving myself, being born again, like that whole ordeal. But it's just like, at the end of the day, I would do it again. I continue to do it again. But I just know I wanted to share this. I wanted to talk about this and just let it be known, like, where I'm at in my journey. And it's just like, it's not easy. It's really not easy. But I know that, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because God, at the end of the day, people will change, but God will always be the same, no matter what. But like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this story time and got something from it, because this is just where I'm at and how I'm living life. But I love you guys, and yeah, peace out.